Good evening, everyone. And once again, I thank you for joining me for our bi-weekly guided meditation and Dharma talk here with the Blue Lotus Mindfulness and Meditation Center, located in beautiful central Minnesota. If anyone ever was curious, right? We're in beautiful Minnesota and enjoying a beautiful day outside for the holiday, for Memorial Day, remembering our fallen service members. I don't typically talk about this, but I mean, I served in the Marine Corps for about 13 years. And so it's a special holiday for me. It takes on a different solemnness as well, to some of my friends as well. But anyway, I am wholeheartedly grateful that you are joining me either live or on the replay. Whatever works best for you works best for all of us, right? So today is May 31st, 2021, Memorial Day here in the United States. And it's roughly 6:02. So for tonight's talk, and to wrap up the theme for the month, we'll be talking briefly about walking mindfully forward, right? How we move forward in letting go of the past so we can walk forward. It's oftentimes we are our own baggage sometimes in our own healing and progression. And so before we get to the talk, all right, I'm going to guide you through a wonderful guided meditation on letting go of resentments, and by forgiving those faults, of whether they're your own faults or someone else's faults. Right? It doesn't matter. But the word fault itself, right? An original meaning, or resentment, the original meaning came from to feel again. All right. So if we think about that, how true is that? When we resent something, right, we are holding on to that feeling and we are living it over and over. And that can be a very painful experience. Right. And sometimes when we hold on to those resentments, right, we may think that we're protecting ourselves, but we're really not. Right. We think that we're protecting ourselves from future hurt, but we're really not. And we'll talk about that as we go along. And so what I would like for you to do is go ahead and find yourself into a nice, comfortable position, whatever works best for you for your meditations. You can more than welcome to lay down. Perhaps you're sitting in a chair, or maybe you sit, in a lotus position, whatever works best for you. And if you're sitting, go ahead and straighten out your back and close your eyes if you like, or maybe keep them halfway open, whatever works best. Put that half smile on your face as well. That's so important. Right? Meditation is healing. And so healing is something that is positive. So we can put a smile on our face. Half smile, right? Just like Buddha. And take a few deep breaths in. I'll guide you through this, so just relax. There'll be some moments of long pauses as well with this meditation. So breathe in. You can pause and slowly let out. And breathe back in. And pause. Slowly let your breath out. And as you sit in your position, notice any discomfort or any tension that you may feel in your body and try to soften around it. Soften, let that tension just dissipate like a cloud in the sky. Go ahead and bring to mind someone you feel resentful towards. And if there's something that's new to you, perhaps don't choose the strongest resentment in your heart. Maybe start with something that's a little bit easier to deal with. Notice the harm that was caused and why you feel resentful. And connect with the intention to cultivate an open and loving heart. If there's resistance, notice its presence without pushing it away. It takes time to reopen your hearts. And so don't force anything. Just let it come. And you can begin offering phrases of forgiveness, connecting with the words as much as you are able to. Say a phrase slowly in your head, finding a rhythm. And it may be helpful to offer a phrase with each exhale, or perhaps with every other exhale, and use phrases like, I forgive you, or I forgive you as much as I am able to in this moment. May I let this pain free itself from my heart. I forgive you. I forgive you as much as I am able to in this moment. May I let this pain free itself from my heart. And any tension you feel, just soften around it as you say those phrases to yourself. I forgive you. Or I forgive you as much as I am able to in this moment. May I let this pain free itself from my heart. Then after those offerings of forgiveness to yourself, let go of these phrases and turn towards yourself, recognizing that you too have caused harm to others. And you don't need to engage in stories about the harm you may have caused or that you have caused. Just recognize that you have indeed and cause difficulties for others, whether you intended to or not. It happens. Unintentional suffering happens as well. And so you can call to mind a specific person that you have hurt. And begin asking for forgiveness from this person using these phrases. I ask for forgiveness for any harm I have caused you. May you find room in your heart to forgive me. May we forgive one another. I ask for forgiveness for any harm I have caused you. May you find room in your heart to forgive me. May we forgive one another. I ask for forgiveness for any harm I have caused you. May you find room in your heart to forgive me. May we forgive one another. Any tension that you may have felt, just bring attention, or tension that you may have felt, bring attention to it, to that area, and soften. Let that tension or those feelings of tightness, let them dissipate, just like that cloud in the sky. We can slowly bring ourselves back to awareness, back to our surroundings. You may open your eyes if you like. Reorientate yourself to your position, to your surroundings. Bring yourself back into the present moment as well. And if you do decide to stand up, just wait a few moments to get your bearing and your balance back. Wonderful. Wonderful. Very good. Someone wants to join me for this talk. So when we talk about moving forward or walking forward with mindfulness and letting go of regrets often, or resentment, even they hold us back from so many wonderful things in this world that we have an opportunity to experience. But sometimes with resentments and regret or resentments, they can prohibit us from from all of those experiences. And that's, life is to be, not suffering as much as we sometimes inflict upon ourselves. Suffering is going to happen, just like as we talked about as we went through that mindful meditation, right? Sometimes we have unintentional suffering towards someone. But for resentments, those are baggage that sometimes they are hard to let go, but we need to, so that we can live a joyful life. And imagine, if you will, being on a long hike. All right, maybe it's the Appalachian Trail. Maybe you want to hike the Appalachian Trail, or another long trail that maybe you have experienced. Maybe you've hiked, or maybe you would like to try. Maybe you want to hike the Grand Canyon, right? Maybe if you were in the military, you certainly know a lot of hiking, right? You got your full packs on, right? And you have a lot of gear to carry, right? A lot of gear to carry. Sleeping bag, food, extra clothing, water. Certainly have to have rain gear, right? Bug spray, a tent, right? And so with all of this equipment that you're carrying by yourself in your backpack, in your pack, right? You're not going to get too far each day, right? I mean, think about it. Your feet are going to get sore, right? With all that weight, your back will end up hurting. You're hot and sweaty. You're certainly thirsty a lot. And with all those internal feelings, all of that internal pain that you're feeling while you're on this walk, right? On this hike in the Grand Canyon or the Appalachian Trail, you're more focused on that pain and not on the beauty of that forest or that canyon or whatever is around you. You're neglectful of the sights, the smells, trees, and the animals. You're focused on that pain. Wow, my feet really hurt. Man, my back is really sore. And so holding on to those resentments takes away the peace and the tranquility that's offered when we are in those wonderful environments of canyons or forests or whatever. We're not focused, right? We're not mindful of the beauty that's around us. We're only focused on our suffering, on our pain. And now if we were to translate that to perhaps a different type of situation, right? A different scenario, one that is probably a little bit more relatable to most, I would imagine. But imagine being an adult who perhaps as a child experienced a parent's divorce. And if you're a young person, this can certainly be a very traumatic experience. The life that you've known, is uprooted and changed. Maybe you have to make a decision on whom you want to live with. And regardless of the circumstances, there are many different circumstances, but maybe you feel resentment, right, towards one or both of your parents as you grow older. Notice I said growing older, not necessarily maturing or how to dealing with that experience. but your body just got older. Maybe your mind has not, in that sense. And this resentment can, and if not dealt with the love and compassion, it can often and often affect your relationships with, significant others or potential significant others. If you hold on to that resentment, because you're thinking about, wow, that happened to them, that could happen to me, and I resent that. I resent the arguments that my parents had, or I resent the divorce procedures, or whatever happened that results in that traumatic experience. Perhaps you never developed the ability to trust a potential partner. And without learning to trust, you can only see the potential hurt by opening up into a relationship, and not the potential beauty of that relationship. And so that's how resentments can manifest themselves into a real life situation. So just like when we were walking in that canyon or walking in that forest, we're focused on the pain of our feet being sore, our back being sore, thirsty, sweaty, mosquitoes, whatever it is. When we have resentments in real life, sometimes we can't see the beauty in the other person because we are focused on the resentments that we may feel. And that takes us away from the true joy and beauty that, that we can feel. That's not to say there aren't going to be bad times, right? People argue, right? People have miscommunications or misunderstandings sometimes, but that doesn't mean, that it's a bad relationship necessarily. But mindfulness allows us to have the empathy, right, for ourselves to say, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel hurt. And the acceptance that we feel a certain way, whatever that emotion is, that we accept it, and it's a wonderful step on that path towards our own healing. And we also know not to live in that feeling for too long. Right? Everything is temporary, states of impermanence. And understanding that helps us maintain our balance. So regrets can hold us back, or resentments, I should say, can hold us back from the joys of life, the potential. And with that, my friends, I would like to tell you about some of our upcoming events. If you haven't already looked at our website, we have our wonderful June silent retreat coming up on the end of the month. It's a free silent retreat, so please go ahead and you're more than welcome to join us. It's all day, typically on a Sunday from 7 to 4:30. Those are monthly events they began last month in May. Well, this month, last week. And they'll go on until September. And then July 5th through the 9th, we have our wonderful teen mindfulness retreat. And so again, I thank you for coming. Please, if you like our videos and what our message is, please feel free to subscribe, and so you can be notified when our live streams are, as well as any uploads, that I do on a regular basis. All right. With that, my friends, I wish you a Memorial Day of reflection and a day of peace and ease for all of you. Take care, my friends.